Had to unzip my dress because I ate so much and I am full. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing good. I wish everyone well, lots of health and lots of wealth. I actually think that I'm gonna go into a food coma, but yeah, before I do, I just thought I'll record this video. I've got my hot water bottle. I'm not sure which one of my friends introduced me to this hot water bottle thing, but thank you. Like, this is going to save me so much on electricity, because all I literally do is fill this up with hot water and I sleep with it, and it keeps me warm all night. I've got my fruits. Well, I'm nearly done with it because I ate half of it. Well, yeah, I ate half of it, but yeah, so as you can see, this video is going to be another pregnancy related video. Now, as I mentioned in my video prior to this one, that I will be making more videos speaking on my experience pertaining to my first and my second trimester. This is no clickbait. As you can see in the title of this video, that I hadn't showered in a week, and then when I did, I had fever. Like, you guys, this actually happened to me, and it was one of the weirdest experience I've ever had. Now, to elaborate, but before I continue, when I said that I did not shower, that does not mean that I did not clean myself. Yeah, let's just get that out of the way. So in my first trimester, I got to a point where I simply did not want to shower. Now, it's hard for me to explain the feeling that I had that was keeping me from actually showering. I was able to use a washcloth, to clean myself and so on and so forth. However, I'm not sure how to explain it, but I simply could not have the water just running down my body. Like I mentioned just a second ago, like, I can't explain the feeling that I had that was keeping me from actually showering. But it felt as though, someone had taken over my body and was controlling everything that I was doing. It was like my kid was telling me, you better not get in the shower. You better not. I don't want to get wet. You better not get in the shower. So yeah, it was very bizarre. I experienced things that I never thought, pregnant women would experience, or if I would ever experience those sorts of things. So when they started to happen to me, like, I was like, no, that's not how I planned it. No, I don't want that. I don't want it. I can joke about things now, with my friends and my family and stuff, but in the beginning, it was no joke. It was no joke. I simply could not wait you know, for my first trimester to be over, because you know my friends and family kept telling me, yeah, you know, you'll get better, you know, in your second trimester and stuff. So I was just praying day by day. There's this app that I use, my cousin made me download it, you know. Every morning it sends me new updates and stuff, so it tells you the changes that's happening in your body. So I would wait like 12 a.m. every day when the app updates me with new information, you know, and I'll be counting down the days, you know, until I'm through with my first trimester, just so I would find some peace and feel better and start to feel like myself again. But yeah, moving on, I'm going to explain to you guys how it happened and how I felt. And yeah, it got to a point in my first trimester where I was so sick. I lost weight. I had no appetite. I had no appetite whatsoever. And I couldn't smell certain stuff. And at some point, it felt as though the air had a smell. That's how bad it was. I remember eating lots of dry crackers, and drinking lots of water. And even then, when I would drink a lot of water, I would often feel very, very dehydrated. So it got to a point where I just didn't want to shower. It's not that I didn't, but like I explained before, it was as if something had taken over my body and was preventing me from actually showering. So, you know, I was okay using, like, you know, washcloths to clean myself and so on and so forth, but I simply, you know, just that shower, don't bring it near me. So a week, yes, I said it, a week after not being able to shower, I forced myself. So I remember I was so weak, like so weak, and I'm trying to get off the bed. So I'm thinking that I would put a chair, you know, in the shower, and you know, I'll just sit on it and basically just turn on the shower and just let it run down my body. And I remember Patrick was in the living room, so I turned on the water. The first big drop just dropped on me, and it like this happened in 0.2 seconds. I immediately had a temperature and switched off the water, and I remember trying to get out, and I'm making noise and stuff, so you know Patrick could hear me and stuff. And like I got so lightheaded and passed out for like maybe 10 seconds or something. And it was so weird. It was so weird. I got into bed, like, you know, I was shivering because I had fever. I was shivering. And I'm thinking, wait, did that just happen? So I really can't shower, can't I? But yeah. So that same week, my aunt called me, and you know, she's just basically asking me, you know, how I'm doing, how the pregnancy is treating me, and I'm like, that stuff is the ghetto. It is the ghetto. I don't want to talk about it. But then I proceeded to tell her that I had a very weird experience where, you know, I sort of like forced myself to shower when really I didn't really want to shower. And then I passed out and I had a temperature and I was sick for a couple of hours. And she was like, yeah, you probably got that from us, from your father's side of the family. And I was like, Raggy? She was like, yeah. So basically my aunt's got 3 girls, and she basically told me that during every single pregnancy she's sick from the beginning till the end, like sick really bad. She said she doesn't get any breaks in between. So she was telling me during her last pregnancy with my baby cousin, she said that she was so sick, like I was, and she was unable to shower. So my aunt lives in Florida and it gets really hot out there, and so she said one day it was just too much for her. It was just too much for her after going a couple of days without being able to shower. She forced herself to shower, and when she did, she passed out. She passed out in the shower after that big drip of water got onto her body, and she passed out. Her husband wasn't home, so my cousin called the ambulance, and she said she spent 3 nights at the hospital. She was hospitalized for 3 nights. She had fever like I did, and she passed out like I did. And yep, she said she spent 3 nights at the hospital. So she was basically telling me that, listen to your body. If your body tell you, say, I don't want to shower today, then yeah, just do what you can. Wash off, then don't actually shower. So that was one of the most bizarre experience that I've had so far. It's one of the ones that stood out to me. I often joke about it because I'm like, wow, that stuff is really the ghetto. But there's a friend of mine from back home. We speak like every day, and ever so often I would tell her things that happened to me during my first trimester, and she would always joke, I had a fine pregnancy, I'm fine, that didn't happen to me. So I'm like, nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. But yeah, apparently some women don't experience any cravings. They don't get sick. It's just smooth sailing for them. But other women like myself, yeah, we're not so lucky when it comes to the symptoms, the horrible symptoms. But yeah, so yeah, that is how it happened. Yeah, it only happened once to me. I've been showering. Yeah, don't come for me. But yeah. So I remember. Well, in my previous video, I spoke about pregnancy anxieties and stuff, and I'm not quite sure if I had elaborated on some of the worries that I had. But yeah, I'll just state some of the worries that I had. Yeah, so before I proceed, just know that if you're planning on having a kid, everyone around you, or even strangers, becomes a doctor, and that includes people who doesn't even have kids. I remember in the beginning, because of course it's my first time, and I did not know how to go about doing certain things. I was open to any suggestions. So yeah, like I mentioned before, I'm anemic. It was really bad before I started taking my tablets, which means that at some point I really couldn't get out of bed. I was so weak. I couldn't walk on my own and stuff. I would have to get help, and it was really bad. So I would be in bed most of the time, if not all the time. I would be in bed, and I remember some folks was like, oh yeah, you have to act like the baby's not even there, act like you're not pregnant, just proceed with your life as normal. Bruh, how can I proceed with my everyday life as normal when I can barely get out of bed? Like, my anemia was so bad that if I get up, I'll have to hold on to something so I don't pass out. I was so weak. So so it was like, you have to be active. If you're not active, then then you're you can harm the baby. So I'm like, I can what now? So yeah, and I remember someone saying that that a family member of theirs, she used to stay in bed during her first trimester. She used to stay in bed and that when she came out, sorry, when she gave birth, the baby came out disabled. I mean, I don't want to use the exact word that she used here in YouTube. But yeah, basically because she stayed in bed when she gave birth, the baby came out disabled and stuff like that. So you know that could happen to me too, and Ray. So mind you, I'm already not myself, and for people to be telling me those sorts of things, like it worried me a lot. It worried me a lot. Like I remember every time, you know, those thoughts will come to my mind, and I would try I would try to get out of bed and, you know, just try to sit up for like a minute. Sometimes my anxiety were so bad that I felt like, okay, well, you're lying down in bed more than you're sitting down, so this could happen, that could happen. So I'm using my phone to record because I'm more comfortable recording on my phone than on my camera, because when I sit down in front of my camera and I see that big old lens staring at me, then I freak out. So I don't know, I feel more comfortable using my phone. So yeah, my storage is full, so I need to wrap this up so I can edit this and then post it. But yeah, so everyone becomes an expert on pregnancy, and everyone has something to say to you. So I had to tune some of those people out. I remember telling someone that I passed out once, because that's another story for another story time. I went mushroom picking with Patrick in the forest, and I'm not sure what happened. My body must have overheated and stuff, and I passed out. Then he had to call the ambulance. Long story. But yeah, so I remember telling that to my friend, and, you know, she was like, well, you shouldn't be passing out like that, you know. So at that time, I kind of felt like, you know, then sort of like something is wrong with me, and I don't know, but I did some research on it, and it said that, you know, pregnant women are likely to get lightheaded and stuff, and dizziness, you know, is very common and stuff. So yeah, for a while, you know, I did feel like, you know, something's wrong with me, and, you know, I don't know, I can't really explain it. I hope, you know, some of you understand where I'm coming from with this. But yeah, I had a lot of pregnancy worries, you know, anxieties and stuff, but I learned to tune some of those things out. You know, if you don't have a PhD, don't come my way with that nonsense. You know, I'm gonna ask my midwife, I'm gonna do my own research. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up so I can edit and post. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please give it a like and a thumbs up, and share if you like. You know, don't discriminate. But yeah, today is Saturday, so I hope you guys are having a good weekend. See ya.